Good morning, Elms and said out and about. I'm on the delivery suite. Um, this is a typical delivery suite room. Um, it's usually a private room, and that or you're by yourself in the room. It's usually self-contained. It's got its own uh, toilet and shower. Um, it's got a hand basin where you wash your hands and clean your hands when touching everything. It's got a storeroom with all the linens and a CTG machine. That's a CTG machine and some towel warmer that is for the towels that they would use for the baby when the baby comes out. So I'll just show you a quick look at things. It's even got its own bath. Here in New Zealand, they have some water bath. What's it called? A bath, and that because some women actually would deliver in a bath, or they call it water delivery, and that's a ball you can sit on. So a woman can actually stay in this bath, fill this up with water, and they stay there. Apparently, it helps with the delivery of the baby. There's some computer things in there and some equipment. They've got a bed that sort of mechanically controlled, and it goes up and down, and the end part in here can actually go up as well. They've got that machine there is for blood pressure machine, and they've got, well, this one here is a thermometer just to check the woman's temperature. Usually in every room there is always an oxygen, and it is equipped with oxygen tubings in there, and that's the suction. In case the suction is usually for sucking up saliva and stuff like that, for any reason that you need the mom to be suction. That's for suction from the mom. Now this is the CTG machine. During delivery, mom usually gets hooked up to this CTG machine to monitor the heart and that of the baby, and it usually tells you if the baby is in distress, which means that if the baby is in distress, and that the possibility or more likely the mom ends up in a cesarean section. And these two buttons, they go into the woman's stomach. These two, one goes at the top and one goes on the side. There's a call bell. You usually just push this, and that call bell will ring, and then the midwife will come. And that one there is an emergency bell. If if there's any emergency, that's what you push, and it's a rapid response for the midwife and the doctors. Usually it would be the midwife that would be in here because it's delivery suite, so it's midwife dominated. The room usually has got computers in that for the nurses and doctors recording, but usually they don't often use that much. Usually the nurses have got their own computer in the staff room, telephones, and here is the cannulation trolley. Cannulation trolley means that's all for the equipments for putting an intravenous line, or that's the thing that goes on your arm for your IV and medications or anesthesia that you need. Usually it has got, this is the one that's just a connector. These are just bits and pieces that you probably will not understand, but there's saline flush and there's needles, and one good thing is they put lignocaine in it, which means it's, just gets rid of the pain. So these are just the syringes that they need for either blood collection. Yeah, that's to just suck the blood, help suck the blood from, and that when they're taking blood collections, and there are containers for putting blood. These trolleys usually has got a place to throw away the needles. So this is an IV trolley. So everything that you need for putting, inserting a tube on the arm is all there. Right. So this is another oxygen, and that, I guess that is so that it's closer to the bath. If you need oxygen in the bath. Now, here's the trolley that they use when the lady goes on delivery. Most of the things are all stored in this trolley. They've got the IV fluid, everything, suturing things. So, and they even have paperwork. So most of the things that they need is in there. These are just basic stuff that they would need in here. For blood collection, they're just syringes, which goes by different mils or capacity, and yeah, so everything is all in here. So now, this is for the neonates or newborn. After the baby is delivered, they usually put the baby in here. This is usually the warmer. It's usually on all the time to just keep this area warm. And it is usually controlled by that machine. That machine controls this thing here. So in here, it is also equipped with oxygen, and everything is all pre-attached to each other. And there's the suction, because usually when the baby is born, usually there's a lot of meconium and stuff on the baby's mouth, so they might have to suction the baby, and the baby sort of get cleaned up and stuff in here, cleaned up on this table as well. And there's some bits and pieces of lignocaine and stuff like that for the baby if they need to do any blood tests and that on the baby. But usually, if there's any issues with the baby usually gets taken to special care baby unit, or NICU, or neonates, and that. And this machine in here is to take the heart rate and respiration, and I think mainly this machine is just heart rate and saturation. Saturation means the amount of oxygen in the baby's blood. And during an emergency, this is very important. This is what they use if the baby stops breathing, and that they usually insert an ET tube, and it all comes in different sizes, but that is a bit too advanced. And these are the equipments that they usually use. And when that emergency comes, usually it's best to take the baby to neonatal unit or special care baby unit, to because there would be more experienced nurses and there to handle the care. So this is a standard birthing unit, or the birthing unit in here. And if the delivery doesn't become normal, then they get taken to another room or theater for cesarean section. So all right, Elms New Zealand out and about, signing off. Bye.